Hey everybody, I'm Peter. I'm a senior in high school from Los Angeles, California, and today I am going to be sharing with you guys 6 things that I wish I knew when I started the college admissions process. Right now it is early March and early acceptances have come out. Now we are going into the regular decision round of college applications, and yeah, I'm really excited to share with you guys the insights that I've learned over the course of my senior year in terms of the college application process and what you guys should do to be more prepared for it. Before we get into the video, if you are a current high school student or a current college student, please leave a like below. And if you have applied to college or are currently applying to college, then I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. Okay, so to start our list, the first thing that I wish I knew when I was applying to college was know what type of writer you are, especially for those schools with supplemental essays, whether it's the personal insight questions for the University of California system or your Common App personal statement. You're going to want to take time to write these things. And, some people can write very quickly, others, like myself, cannot. And understanding the type of writer you are can really help you sort of schedule the time that you need to write these essays. So for me personally, I write extremely slowly, and that's okay. Not everybody can write super quickly. So I needed to budget a lot of time for myself to be able to write the personal statement and then my UC PIQs as well as my supplemental essays. For some people, writing is super easy and they really enjoy it. For others, it's a very slow process. Now, understanding who you are as a writer and how you write will really help you budget the appropriate time that you need to write your essays, to finish off your applications, and ultimately to save yourself some stress about the deadlines. Number 2, look past the name. What do I mean by this? Well, a lot of people around me, myself included, got very caught up in applying to schools that they had heard of and that had great reputations. And don't get me wrong, if your interests and what you want to do aligns with these schools, absolutely you should apply because they undoubtedly have great educational experiences and great professors. However, some of these schools might not have programs that align most with your interests and what you want to pursue. And I really wish I had known that because it would have saved me a lot of stress about trying to craft applications for schools that, albeit were very prestigious, didn't really have what I wanted to do personally. And a side note to that, these schools are looking at your applications to understand whether you're going to fit in, right? You want to demonstrate to School X why School X is the best place for you and why School X would be lucky to have you as a student who would contribute to its campus. Now, if a school isn't very interesting to you and you're only applying because it has a great name, the chances are very low that you would fit in there. And that's not to say you shouldn't be applying to these extremely prestigious schools. You should be explaining why you and School X would fit together like bread and butter. Okay, number 3. And I'll put this one with an asterisk. Burnout is inevitable, but you can do things to avoid. For me, the way that I was working made me burn out. And I told myself that I would not burn out, that I would do everything in my power to not burn out. And surprise, surprise, I did wind up burning out. What caused me to burn out? It was that I was trying to push myself past my limit of being able to focus. Now, what I mean by that is that I'm a person who can focus for roughly 45 minutes. And that's another thing that, like writing and the amount of time it takes somebody to write, varies heavily from person to person. Some people can focus for 15 minutes straight, other people 3 hours. But what I would do is I would try to take 3 hours to try to do research on a school and write a supplemental essay and figure out sort of the majors and programs that I was interested in for that school. Now, while that would be great if I could focus for 3 hours, the reality is only 45 minutes of that was actually effective work. The other 2 hours and 15 minutes were pretty low focus and I wasn't really getting all that much done for how much time I was spending. And what happened was, after these 3-hour grind sessions, I would be tired and burnt out from trying to do that much work, because the reality was that I should have just been trying to do work in 45-minute chunks. Now that leads me to my next point, which is you need to take breaks. Breaks are arguably the most important thing that you can do for your productivity. Personally, I tend to overestimate the amount of time that I can actually focus. And had I thought about taking breaks and really giving myself that ability to recuperate and recharge after doing research on schools, after doing writing, I would have been in a much better mental state to actually continue writing. Because like I said, I was burning out, and when you're burnt out, you are not going to do your best work. And so what I did towards the later rounds was I would give myself 2 or 3 days to not look at an application at all before the deadline. Then the day before the deadline, I would do my final revisions and then submit it. And that's something that really helped me avoid burnout later on. Now, like I said, I wish I had known it going into the process, because it would have saved me a lot of burnout, but that's just an example of the value that breaks can bring you. So what I would recommend is take the amount of time that you can focus, let's say it's 30 minutes, schedule 30 minutes of work time on your college applications, and then afterward, schedule however much time you think is appropriate for a break. If it were me, I would give myself 30 minutes to work and then 15 minutes to rest. Obviously, you can tailor that to your own personal needs, but I would highly recommend doing that because it's something I regret not doing myself. And number 5, insecurity and anxiety are pretty common, and I found myself spiraling a lot about the college process. I saw a lot of people around me do it as well. And I think something that a lot of us should do is recognize that it's okay to feel anxious about this process. It's a big deal, and it's really hard not to get caught up in all of it. Something I really wish I had done throughout the process was prioritize my own mental health. And not doing that created a lot more stress than there needed to be around these college applications for me personally. Now, another thing that goes along with this is that you can't do your best work if you are stressed out or anxious about something. And so if I had really looked at the situation and thought about prioritizing my mental health more, I think I would have found myself working both more productively and just putting out better college applications overall. And number 6, my final tip that I wish I had known before applying to college is that it's an extremely holistic process, and I can't emphasize that enough. There is no certain methodology that will surefire get you into a given college. And what I found myself doing throughout the process was comparing myself to people who I had seen get into the schools that I wanted to go to. For example, I would say this person got into school X, but this person did Model UN. Well, I didn't do Model UN, therefore I will not get into school X, when that's not the reality. Schools are evaluating you based on your individual accomplishments within your context, and I didn't really think about the fact that schools care a lot more about what I've done than what people who have gotten into their programs in the past have done. And I'll acknowledge that it's a lot easier said than done to not compare yourself to other people in this process. It's really stressful, like I said, and it causes people to compare themselves. But had I realized that there wasn't a cookie cutter way to get into a given college, that would have saved me a lot of stress. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This was my first YouTube video, and I'm really excited to be helping people improve their college essays. I'm really excited to see where this channel goes, and I hope you guys can help it grow, because it would be great to create sort of a community around improving college applications and helping people get into college. If you guys are interested in free tutoring, I have a service called Tutoring that does free tutoring, including AP classes and SAT and ACT test prep. please look at the link down below. I'm super excited to be able to share that with you guys in addition to my college application tips. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below and have a great day.